Hello, my friend. Today is Friday, April 24th. Before anything else begins, before your thoughts start running, before the noise of the day finds you, just take a slow breath. You don't need to figure everything out right now. You don't need to carry the whole day in this moment. Just be here. This day is not something you stumbled into by accident, and your life is not moving without direction. Even if it feels unclear, there may already be pressure waiting for you today. Things unfinished, conversations you're not ready for, questions that don't have answers yet. But right here, in this quiet moment, you are not behind, and you are not alone. God is already here, not rushing you, not expecting you to have everything together, not asking you to control what you cannot control, just present. And if today feels like a storm, not always loud, but steady, heavy, and hard to escape, then hear this clearly. God may not remove every storm immediately, but He will keep your soul from being carried away by it. He is your anchor, not something distant, not something you reach for only when things fall apart, but a steady place beneath you even when everything else feels uncertain. So before you step into this day, let your heart slow down. You don't have to rush into strength. You don't have to pretend you're ready. You can begin here held, seen, and grounded in something stronger than what you feel. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this new morning, not just as a routine start to another day, but as a quiet reminder that I am still here, still breathing, still being carried by your care. There were things I didn't see through the night, things I wasn't aware of, ways you protected me that I will never fully understand, and yet here I am. So before I ask you for anything today, I want to begin with something simple. Thank you. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Thank you for the chance to begin again. Thank you that this day is not empty, even if I don't yet know what it holds. Lord, it is easy for my mind to rush ahead to think about everything that needs to be done, everything that feels unfinished, everything that might go wrong. But right now, I choose to slow that down. I choose to remember that I don't walk into this day alone. You are already here. You have already gone before me into every conversation, every decision, every moment I have not yet reached. So instead of starting this day with pressure, I want to start it with your presence. Instead of trying to control how everything will unfold, I place this day into your hands. My plans, my responsibilities, even the things I'm worried about but haven't said out loud yet, I bring them to you. Teach me to move through this day with a steady heart, not driven by urgency, but guided by trust. Remind me that I don't need to have everything figured out in order to walk in peace. And if I begin to rush, if my thoughts start to scatter, bring me back to this place where I remember that you are with me, and that is enough. Lord, you know how quickly my mind can begin to race. Sometimes the day hasn't even started, but I already feel behind. There are things waiting for me, responsibilities I cannot ignore, decisions I'm not fully ready to make, and a quiet pressure that keeps telling me I need to move faster, do more, figure things out right now. It feels like everything is urgent. And if I'm not careful, that urgency begins to shape how I think, how I react, how I carry myself through the day. It steals my peace before I even notice it. So right here, at the start of this day, I bring that pressure to you. Not pretending it isn't real, not trying to push it away on my own, but placing it where it belongs, because I was never meant to carry the weight of this entire day by myself. Lord, teach me to slow down on the inside, even if the world around me keeps moving fast. Help me to respond with clarity, not with panic, to make decisions with a steady heart, not with fear of falling behind. Remind me that urgency does not always mean importance, and pressure does not always mean direction. If something truly matters, you are able to guide me into it without confusion, without forcing, without rushing my spirit. So today, I choose a different pace, not careless, not passive, but grounded. I will do what is in front of me, one step at a time. I will not carry everything at once. I will not try to solve the whole day in a single moment. And when I feel that pressure rising again, that tightness in my chest, that rush in my thoughts, bring me back to this truth. I am not being chased. I am being led. And as long as I walk with you, I don't have to hurry to be where I'm supposed to be. Let your peace set the rhythm of this day. Father, there are moments when I look at my life and quietly feel like I am falling behind. Not always in obvious ways, but in the small, persistent thoughts that say I should be further than I am by now. I see where others are, how fast they seem to move, how clear their direction looks, how stable everything appears from the outside. And without even realizing it, I begin to measure my life against a timeline that was never meant for me. It creates a pressure that is hard to explain. A sense that I am late, that I missed something, that I am trying to catch up to a version of life that keeps moving just out of reach. But Lord, you do not measure my life that way. You are not comparing my chapter to someone else's progress. You are not rushing me to become something on a schedule that you never designed. So today I ask you to correct my perspective. Help me to see my life not through comparison, but through your presence. Remind me that growth is not always visible, that progress is not always loud, and that some of the most important work you do in me happens quietly, over time, in ways I cannot track. If I feel slow, teach me not to confuse that with failure. If I feel delayed, remind me that delay is not the same as being lost. And if I feel like I am not enough, bring me back to what is true, that my worth is not built on how much I accomplish, how quickly I move, or how closely I match someone else's life. My worth is already settled in you. So I release the need to prove that I am on track. I release the pressure to keep up with a pace that exhausts me. And I choose to trust that where I am right now is not a mistake. You are still working, even here. And as long as I am walking with you, I am not behind. Lord, there are days when the storm is not around me but inside my own body. Moments when I wake up already tired, when simple things take more effort than they used to, when there is a quiet discomfort that I cannot fully explain, but I can feel it staying with me. Sometimes it's physical. Aches that don't go away, fatigue that lingers longer than expected, a body that doesn't respond the way it once did. And sometimes it's the thoughts that come with it. Questions I don't always say out loud. Concerns about what this means, a quiet fear that something is changing in a way I don't fully understand. Lord, you see all of it, not just what others notice, but what I carry silently. You see the moments when I push through even when I feel weak. The times I try to act normal, when something inside me feels off, and the weight of wondering how long this will last. So today, I bring my body to you, not as something separate from my faith, but as part of the life you have given me. Where there is tension, bring release. Where there is fatigue, bring steady strength. Where there is fear, bring quiet assurance. Help me not to turn every symptom into a conclusion. Help me not to let uncertainty take over my thoughts. And teach me to care for myself with grace, to rest when I need rest, to slow down without guilt, to listen to my body without letting fear define it. Remind me that I am not alone in what I feel, that even in weakness you are present, and that my life is not reduced to how strong I feel in this moment, so I choose not to panic. I choose not to assume the worst. Instead, I place my health, my strength, and everything I do not understand into your hands. You are still with me in this body, and that is enough for today. Father, there are times when nothing around me is out of control, but my mind is, thoughts that don't slow down, conversations that replay long after they've ended, moments I wish I could redo, decisions I keep second-guessing. It becomes a kind of noise, not loud on the outside, but constant on the inside. And the longer it stays, the harder it is to find rest. Sometimes I try to think my way out of it, to analyze more, to figure it out. But that only seems to pull me deeper. So right now, I bring my mind to you. Not just the calm parts, but the restless ones. The parts that overthink, that hold on to regret, that keep reaching for answers I don't have. Lord, help me recognize that not every thought deserves my attention. Not every memory needs to be revisited. Not every question needs to be solved today. Give me the wisdom to let certain thoughts pass without following them. And when my mind starts to loop going back to what I should have said, what I should have done, what I wish I could change. Remind me gently. That moment is no longer mine to fix. Teach me to release the past without ignoring what it taught me. And when my thoughts move ahead into things that haven't even happened yet, the what-ifs, the imagined outcomes, the quiet fears bring me back to where I am. Here, this moment, where you are already present. Speak over my mind with a voice that is steady, not forceful, clear, not overwhelming, and help me learn the difference between thinking and being led. Today, I choose not to let my thoughts lead me in circles. I choose to anchor them in truth. Even if my mind feels unsettled, I don't have to follow every direction it goes. You are still here, and with you, I can find stillness again. Father, there are burdens I carry that are not really about me. They are about the people I love, the ones I think about when things get quiet, the ones I worry about even when I try not to. Some of them are struggling in ways I can see. Others are carrying things they never talk about. And what makes it heavy is not just what they are going through, but the feeling that I cannot fix it. I want to help. I want to guide. I want to say the right words, make the right difference. But sometimes nothing I do seems to reach where it needs to, and that helplessness sits with me. So today, Lord, I bring them to you. Not as a last option, but as the right place to begin. You see them more clearly than I do. You understand what they are facing in ways I cannot fully grasp. You know what is happening in their hearts, what they are holding in, what they are avoiding, what they are afraid to say, and you are able to reach them in ways I cannot. So I release the pressure to carry what was never mine to carry. I release the need to control their choices, to manage their outcomes, to hold everything together for them. Not because I don't care, but because I trust that you care more deeply than I ever could. Lord, go where my words cannot go. Speak where I cannot be heard. Bring clarity where there is confusion. Bring healing where there is distance. And in the places where nothing seems to change yet, give me the patience to wait without becoming anxious, and the strength to love without trying to force the process. Help me stay present without becoming overwhelmed, to care without losing my own peace, and to trust that the people I love are not outside of your reach. So today I place them back into your hands, not with fear, but with quiet confidence, that you are already at work even in what I cannot see. Father, there are things I have been waiting on for longer than I expected, answers that haven't come, changes that haven't happened, prayers that feel like they are still hanging in the air. And over time, waiting begins to wear me down, not always in obvious ways, but in quiet thoughts that ask, is anything actually moving? Did I misunderstand something? Did I miss the moment? It's not just the situation that is heavy. It's the silence, because when nothing changes, it's easy to feel like nothing is happening. But Lord, help me remember what I cannot see. That silence does not mean absence, and delay does not mean neglect. You are not inactive just because I don't see progress. So today, instead of trying to force movement, I choose to stay, not stuck but steady. Teach me how to wait without letting my hope collapse. Not by pretending everything is fine, but by learning to trust you even when I don't have new information. Give me a kind of patience that is not passive, but grounded. A patience that keeps my heart open without becoming restless. And when the waiting feels long, when I start to grow tired or discouraged or tempted to give up, hold me there. Not with pressure, but with presence. Remind me that you are still involved in what I'm waiting for, that something is being formed even if I cannot measure it yet. So I release the timeline I keep trying to control. I release the need to know when this will end. And I choose to trust that what you are doing is not late, just not finished. Let my heart stay steady while I wait, and keep me from giving up too soon. Father, there is a kind of tiredness that doesn't come from what I do, but from what I carry, from always being the one who holds things together, the one who stays steady when others can't, the one who keeps going even when something inside feels worn down. Over time, that kind of strength becomes heavy, because it leaves very little room to admit when I am not okay. Very little space to stop to breathe, to let someone else carry something for me. And sometimes I don't even realize how tired I am until I reach a point where everything feels harder than it should. So today, Lord, I bring that tiredness to you, not trying to hide it, not trying to push through it again, just being honest. I am tired of always having to be strong, tired of holding things in, tired of figuring things out on my own, tired of feeling like I have to keep everything from falling apart. And in this moment, I need something different. Not more strength to keep going the same way, but the permission to rest. Remind me that I don't have to prove anything to you, that I don't have to show up as a version of myself that has everything together. You already see me clearly, even the parts that are worn down, even the parts that are quiet because they are exhausted. So teach me a different kind of strength, not the kind that comes from pushing harder, but the kind that comes from leaning on you. Help me release the belief that everything depends on me. Help me step back without feeling like I am failing. And help me trust that what I cannot hold together, you are fully capable of holding. Today, I lay down the weight of having to be the strong one all the time. And I receive something better, a strength that does not come from pressure, but from being supported. A strength that allows me to rest without fear. Stay with me in this, Lord, and teach me that I don't have to carry everything to be okay. Father, there are moments when the hardest part of today is not what is happening now, but what might happen next. Thoughts about tomorrow have a way of pulling my attention forward. Situations that haven't unfolded yet. Outcomes I cannot predict. Decisions that are still ahead of me. And without realizing it, my mind begins to fill in the gaps with possibilities, with worst-case scenarios, with questions that don't have answers yet. It creates a tension that is hard to settle, a feeling that I should be preparing for everything before it even arrives. But Lord, you are not asking me to live ahead of my life. You are not asking me to solve tomorrow while I am still standing in today. So help me come back to this moment, back to what is in front of me, back to the place where you already are. Remind me that the future is not uncertain to you. What feels unknown to me is already seen by you. Every step, every turn, every detail I cannot yet understand, and nothing waiting for me tomorrow will catch you off guard. So I release the need to anticipate every outcome. I release the pressure to prepare for every possibility, not because the future doesn't matter, but because I trust that you will meet me there when I arrive. Give me the ability to stay grounded in today, to take one step at a time without rushing ahead in fear. And when my thoughts begin to drift into what has not yet happened, bring me back gently to the truth that I am not walking toward the future alone. You are already there, and that is enough for me to rest in this moment. Father, there are moments when gratitude does not come naturally, when the situation I'm facing feels heavy, uncertain, unfinished, and the last thing I feel like doing is giving thanks. Because part of me is still trying to understand, still trying to make sense of what is happening, still waiting for something to change. But today, I am learning that praise is not about pretending everything is okay. It is not about ignoring the weight or denying what is real. It is about choosing where I place my focus in the middle of what I don't control. So even here, I pause, not to force words that don't feel true, but to return to what I know is true. You are still here. You have not stepped away just because things are unclear. You have not withdrawn just because I don't see the outcome yet. And when I look back, I can see that you have carried me through things I once thought I would not make it through. So today, I choose a quiet kind of praise. Not loud, not forced, but steady. Thank you for staying with me, even when I struggle. Thank you for holding me in ways I don't always notice. Thank you that I'm still here, still able to take another step, still not alone in this moment. And when my emotions shift, when doubt tries to rise, when the weight feels heavier again, help me return to this place, where I remember that my situation is not the final voice. You are, so I will not let fear speak louder than what I know about you. I will not let uncertainty erase what you have already shown me. And even if nothing changes immediately, I can still stand here with a steady heart because you have not changed. Receive this, Lord, not as perfect words, but as a simple, honest trust that you are still good in the middle of all of this. Father, there is a part of me that keeps trying to hold everything together, to manage outcomes, to anticipate problems, to stay one step ahead so nothing falls apart, and for a while it feels like control gives me stability. But over time, it becomes exhausting, because the more I try to control, the more I realize how much is actually outside my reach. People I cannot change, situations I cannot fix, timelines I cannot force, and still my instinct is to hold tighter, as if letting go would mean everything will unravel. But today, Lord, I see that holding on this way is what is wearing me down, so I bring that to you. Not as a final decision I fully understand, but as a step I am willing to take. Teach me what it means to release control without feeling like I am giving up. Help me understand that surrender is not failure. It is trust. Trust that you see more than I see. Trust that you understand what I cannot yet make sense of. Trust that you are able to lead without my constant effort to manage everything. So right now, I begin to loosen my grip on the outcomes I keep replaying, on the timelines I keep trying to protect, on the need to make things happen in a way that feels safe to me. I don't have to force what you are already guiding. I don't have to carry what was never mine to hold. And I don't have to keep proving that I can handle everything. Today, I choose to step back not in fear but in trust. If you say move, I will move. If you say wait, I will wait. And if you say release, I will release. Not because I feel ready, but because I know you are steady. So take what I cannot control, Lord, and teach my heart to rest in your hands. Before we move on, just stay here for a moment. Don't rush back yet. Don't reach for the next thing too quickly. Let this quiet settle a little deeper. Notice your breathing. Notice the space inside you that feels just a bit lighter than before. There are things you brought into this prayer, concerns, questions, pressures that felt heavy when you first woke up. And even if they are not fully resolved, something has shifted, not outside, but inside. So don't undo that. Don't pick everything back up the moment this prayer ends. You don't have to carry it all again. Let it stay where you placed it, at the feet of the One who is able to hold what you cannot. You may not have clarity for the whole day. You may not know how things will unfold, but you don't need that to walk forward in peace. You only need to stay grounded in what is already true. That you are not alone, that you are being held, that your life is not drifting without care. God is still your anchor, and because of that, even if the surface of your life feels unsettled, you are not going to be carried away. So take one more slow breath. Let your shoulders soften. Let your thoughts slow down. You don't have to rush into strength. You can move into this day quietly, steadily anchored, before you go just one simple step. If this moment of prayer helped steady your heart, even a little, you can quietly write "God is my anchor" or simply "Amen" in the comments. Not as something public, but as a small personal way of marking this moment. And if there is something you are carrying right now, a concern, a situation, or a weight you don't have words for, you can leave that here too. You don't have to walk through it alone. If this space has been helpful to you, you're welcome to come back again tomorrow. We'll begin again the same way. Quietly, steadily, together. Take care of yourself today.